Hey, y'all, I have a hot take, and I want to get y'all's opinion on it.
Okay, sure. I'm listening. What's up?
So we know how we have the NicOlandria stands and stuff like that, right? I'm still not convinced. Don't shoot me. I'm still not convinced, and I'm more not convinced. I don't think Olandria is all the way in, me personally.
Okay, you have a point here. I actually agree with you. Alendria isn't all the way in. I don't think Nick is either, to be fair. They just got together 3 or 4 days ago.
But one thing I keep seeing is like, oh, like, Nick don't like Sierra. Nick didn't like Sierra. You could tell. Look how he was acting. Nick didn't like Sierra, right? Right? Stay with me.
Listen, I'm locked in, walking with you. Continue.
So in my opinion, what's the difference between what Nick did with Sierra in comparison to what Taylor did to Alandria? I know Nick got fans. Y'all love Nick. But if you want to think about it, Nick was sleeping with Sierra. So if y'all are like, Nick never really liked her and he was sleeping with her, that to me is worse than...
I'm going to stop you right here just so I can respond to this particular sentence. The comparison of Taylor and Alendria and Nick and Sierra, this is an actual critique that I actually had before. I think I made about 2 or 3 videos since the last 2 weeks, or for the last few weeks, talking about this and actually comparing them as well. As a matter of fact, I've spoken about how Nick and Sierra, in regards to specifically after Casa Amar, how it definitely was an energy shift. Nick wasn't giving it his all since he got back with Sierra. I hate to say it. Nick definitely, I would personally say, trying to be unbiased despite me supporting NicOlandria, I think Nick settled. I hope that we're not forgetting that Alendria was the one to actually friend zone him first. And he agreed, and they both said that it was mutual and that there was no spark. I think that was not only to protect themselves, but once again to protect their partners. Alendria was still stuck on Taylor, and Nick was still technically with Sierra, and they're both considered to be loyal to an extent in regards to this entire experience. So when Alendria was the one to initiate the friend zoning, Nick just followed along. Because at the end of the day, he still very much cared for that mutualship, that friendship from Alendria. He would rather have that than not have her at all, With Nick and Sierra, I think that the issue is that they closed off, and I think that wasn't a good idea. But you guys have to think about it from Nick's perspective, and not really from a men's perspective, but if somebody that you had this genuine, that you thought that you were willing to explore with, Alendria, friend zoned you after you guys had this really extremely intense kiss, right? That lasted for 30 seconds. Yes, I counted, okay? Lasted for 30 seconds, and you guys both put your all in that. You're going to not want to fall back and continue to explore. What you're going to want to do, and I think it's really it's kind of self-sabotage, is lock in with the person that you're safe and comfortable with, which is what I think Nick did. He was comfortable with Sierra. He felt safe with Sierra because they do have a connection. I want to make that very clear. They do have a connection. I think it was more so physical. Don't shoot me, but I'll let you continue.
Than anything Taylor did. That is worse. That is so worse because Nick, you couldn't even see it coming. At least with Taylor, we all saw that he didn't like her. Nick, we couldn't even see that coming.
Oof, okay. I disagree. We saw this coming. We saw this coming, and let me explain to you guys how. First and foremost, physical connection between Nick and Sierra, or physical connection between two people, does not have to mean anything. It could just mean, hey, I'm trying to seek pleasure. Does not mean that I'm trying to seek a genuine connection with somebody. That is actually one of the most common things in regards to dating, like the dating scene modernly in general, is you can absolutely want to sleep with somebody but not exclusively be with them, or not want to actually date with them, or actually be with them romantically, right? It's really just a pleasurable thing to experience. Plus, let's once again compare the way that he interacted and engages with Sierra before Casa Amar compared to the way that he engaged with Alendria those 24 to 36 hours. He was putting in a lot of energy with Alendria compared to Sierra. I mean, think about this. He kept on denying being closed off with Sierra for a reason.
I just feel like people really pick and choose. And I feel like people are choosing to ignore the fact that Nick is allegedly did not like Sierra because we see how he is with Olandria, when literally Taylor did the same thing.
I actually kind of agree with you here. But I still think the difference is that Sierra and Nick, they do like each other. There is an obvious connection. It's just not the same that Nick has with Olandria. I hate to say it. Plus, I personally wouldn't say that Nick never liked Sierra. I think they obviously had a connection even before Casa Amar. I think it was a little strange because I feel like maybe Nick felt like Sierra was pressuring him closing off the amount of times that she mentioned it within those 2 weeks of them, being in a couple. One of my main critiques about Nick is closing off with Sierra in the first place. Understanding that he wasn't going to give it his all. That was stupid of him. I will never appreciate that. So I think that is a decent comparison, but remember, Olandria asked Taylor multiple times for him to be honest about their situation, and he wasn't. Every time Olandria gave him a chance after chance to be honest, Taylor pretty much tiptoed around the situation, breadcrumbed her even more, and got scot-free. I would still kind of blame this on Olandria, though, because I feel like it was very much clear, but Olandria very much had tunnel vision. I hope she's gonna look back and think, oh damn, I was kind of stupid for that. And to be honest, I really do believe that Nick closed up with Sierra because that's what Sierra wanted. Remember, she was the one that was originally initiating the closed off conversation time and time after all. Plus, he never promised Sierra anything in regards to their closed off relationship. There is a reason why he quite literally asked her, what did that even mean outside the villa? You're not even a serious person if you even have to ask somebody that. And in these moments, Nick wasn't a very serious person at all.
Literally, they both did the same thing. It's just that Nick is worse because he was sleeping with her and then chose to close off with her. Am I tripping, y'all? Am I tripping? I feel like people pick and choose, bro. I feel like if you're going to give Taylor the hate for what he did, Nick deserves, to be held accountable. Not hate, I mean held accountable as well. Because that's also trifling too.
Well, I pretty much already explained how I feel about the entire situation. I think Nick should be critiqued in regards to the way he treated Sierra, especially after initiating the closed-off conversation after Casa Amar. I feel like he should be critiqued. I mean, I want to continue to do that for him. I think that the way that he treated Sierra in those moments of giving her breadcrumbs, that's going to always piss me off, and I will never appreciate it. But it's kind of like something that grows on you, right? In regards to Taylor and Clark, they grew on me in regards to me liking them and wanting them to get far within their relationship and far on the show. Because I could tell that Taylor actually liked Clark. No, I don't appreciate the way he treated Olandria, but I could tell that he can be a good man once the right woman comes. It's literally the same way with Nick. I can tell that he really likes Olandria and he's going to treat the woman that he really likes differently compared to the woman that he settled for. I know this was a long response, but I really wanted to make sure that I laid it all out so there was no confusion. But this is fun. I do hope that you guys enjoyed the video. You guys have a good one. Wow.